Okay, how to vibe code. Okay, how to vibe code an AI rapper. Okay, so I just got this great idea for a new AI. Am my mic working good? Check, check, check. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just got this idea for a viral AI product. So, ever go to like a auto mechanic or some type of place where you have no knowledge and you just have to trust the person giving you the assessment? This is called anti-scam AI. My primary use case is that famous kind of like meme, or it's been made into a joke on television shows and the internet, where someone walks into a car dealership or they walk into a auto body where they walk into like an auto body shop or like a mechanic's, where they walk into like an auto body shop or a mechanic, and then they say like, oh, what's hap, and then they get told what needs to be done, and they're like, yeah, like the flux capacitor needs change, it's going to be about $7,000, and we're just going to solve for that. I think there's probably other use cases, like we're going to probably build for phone calls, and different, so we're probably going to build for phone calls and different like specific use cases as well, but mainly for these first few use cases I can think of. But we can expand out, to support like all these different types of use cases, to where you're basically talking to someone in real time. You could have an AirPod in, or you could just like passively hold your phone and like just hold it and have it like listening, and then like basically get the results. Maybe this becomes something that people are transparent about, and even just like holding the anti-scam app like makes the people be more on it. And even just like holding the anti-scam app will inherently make the people be more honest, because they're like, oh, I don't want to get caught, maybe I'll scam the next person. I'm not sure how frequent this is. It might be really good for traveling, like traveling. I'm not sure how frequent of a problem this is, but maybe for traveling especially, people will tell you something, and if you don't have like a local around you to be like, oh, no, 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 like the bike only costs like 800, to rent it, and he's out asking you for like 2,000 or whatever, like, whatever level. This happens a lot. So anti-scam AI, I think travel's another good one. So I think like for the travel mode, I'm already starting to think of. So you're gonna see how my brain works building and vibe coding and planning out apps. I'm already kind of thinking of, in the different industries, what different like types of user interfaces you might have. So for example, for travel, we might want to have travel use case. I'm gonna make this text a little bit bigger. Let's make this bigger. So you're going to be seeing how my brain works here, and how I plan out my apps. So for one of these use cases for anti-scam AI, an app that can be listening alongside with you and like giving you advice on maybe if you're being scammed or not, the travel use case is really interesting. So for the travel use case, I'm already starting to plan like the user interface that might be good, like set location, set service, um, and then go. Uh, and let's just specify like description for anti-scam travel mode. The prompt engineering should be configured and searching its context, searching the model's knowledge base. So after like basically setting the first couple like UX steps, the UX steps are like set location, set service, and then hit go. Start listening. The description for this would be like for anti-scam travel mode, for anti-scam travel mode, the prompt engineering would be configured to be listening and searching the model's knowledge base to compare the information being told by the service provider and checking if this is accurate. And if there is any discrepancy in price, quality, and time, as well as other factors could lead to the user being ripped off, we want to send all and compare the existing knowledge about this service in this country/city location and compare to the average cost, time, quality, and requirements to make sure and give a generated response to inform the user of any discrepancy. I already spelled that word. Of any discrepancy and inform them so they do not get scammed, ripped off, or taken advantage of because of their lack of knowledge in this area and this lack of knowledge of local prices/rates standards. So you can see how detailed I'm being. So for travel use case, set location, set service, hit go. It will start listening, and then the description, user journey. UX journey. So as you can see, for the travel use case, you're going to want to set location, set service, hit go, and then the description / the UX journey. For anti-scam travel mode, the prompt engineering should be configured to be listening, searching the model's knowledge base to compare the information being told by the service provider, checking if this is accurate, if there's any discrepancy in price, quality, as well as time and any other factors that could lead to the user being ripped off. As well, we want to send all this information off, compare the existing knowledge about this service in this country, city, location, and compare the average cost, time, quality, and requirements to make sure we give a generated response to inform the user of any discrepancy and inform them so they do not get scammed, ripped off, or taken advantage of because of their lack of knowledge in this area and lack of knowledge of local prices, rates, and standards. So I think that really covers things well. And as you can see, being able to articulate what's on your mind and be able to articulate and communicate what's on your mind is the future of AI. So to be able to articulate and communicate what's on your mind and put it into text so that the model will understand this, the model's actually going to take this description and create a prompt that's engineered to send to the model. Usually this is bullet points, requirements, kind of like rules to give the model, kind of like rules to build into the prompt. And you can see I'm very happy with this. This exact plan right here will be able to give me a really good start so that my responses are already high value and already working in the way they need to be, meeting all these standards and checking all these things. Check, check, yeah. So I think I've really hit on a primary use case. You're trying to think of, so I think I've really hit on a big use case here. I was kind of more thinking of people locally, but locally is not as much of an issue. If you get scammed locally, they're not gonna. If you get scammed locally, you're not gonna go back. So people are probably gonna be less adversarial towards you. So for this anti-scam AI app, here's as so one thing about building apps is you're going to see as you start to describe your use cases and other features and other things that can be. So you're going to see as you vibe code and plan out your app, you're going to really come up with these different use cases. And in your head, you're going to put yourself in the position of a user. And then you're going to realize, wait, this is my target market. Maybe my whole app should be branded around this. Because one thing I'm realizing is the travel use. Because one thing I'm realizing, like renting a car or something, because one thing I'm realizing is the travel use case is so important. Think about like renting a car or something. This is such a because the travel case is such a, and I'm really thinking the target market should almost only be this travel use case because that's where this issue is most present. Someone in your local town is not going to be so adversarial to you if you go to a if I go to a mechanic in my town locally, they're not going to be as adversarial to me if they recognize I'm from here. And especially if you're not in an area like a small town or something that doesn't really have tourism anyway, they're going to be more welcome. They're going to be more honest with you because they're going to realize you're not going to go back there. You're going to give a bad review. You're going to tell other people within your circle not to go there. So it's really not worth whatever they're going to gain in the short time to rip you off. But as a traveler, especially with just little services that aren't really based on a lot of reviews, that aren't such a brand, people are going to rip you off because they realize, hey, you're never coming back here again. This is a one-time transaction. Let me squeeze you for anything I can because you're not going to be back in that city and it doesn't really matter. This is a one-time business. This is a one-time business transaction and they don't need to worry about building a reputation with you. So I think this travel use case is super important. Are people moving to new places and trying to get acclimated with them. So I've really hit on something with this anti-scam AI travel edition, and I think maybe the whole app should be around that, like just selecting the use case, like selecting your location, setting service, setting go, and then go. Because really now, what I thought before was like some app with a user interface that was like for Autobody. So what I was thinking before was more like an app with the. So what I was thinking before was more like an app where you're on the homepage, you see Autobody, you see like insurance, you see like rentals, and then you see all these different use cases. You see all these different use cases, and then you click into like Autobody, and then there's a specific prompt set up for it, and there's a specific prompt set up for like auto bodies or set up for like rentals or set up for whatever service, and we could just expand this. Now that I'm thinking about it, we don't really need this multi-select function. All we really need is you select your service and then the model is going to do the work for creating the prompt around that service. If it's really going to match this description, if the app is going to work based on this description in the prompt, it's going to adapt to the different industries, and it's really going to search the model's context, and it's really going to search the model's existing knowledge base that's been pre-trained into this model, and maybe even we can add on a feature for it to search the web for additional information and updates. But in general, if you ask a model right now, like how much is the average taxi ride for a local person in this country, they're gonna probably tell you, and then you can even follow up and be like, what can I expect? How much they're gonna upcharge? This kind of like gringo tax in Spanish or different places is something everyone needs to look out for. That's probably not a right way to put it. Really, just tourist tax. This kind of tourist tax is just this like tourist tax is this tourist tax is something that gets really tiring, especially when you're traveling. So whether you have an AirPod in telling you, or whether you're just kind of like listening along and saying like, no, this is my translator app or whatever, you can really get far here. As well, translation should really be a thing. Like it should translate. It should just automatically translate back to you and tell you the information. If the input is in a different language, you can also say if I'm going to also put in also if the input is in a different language, please automatically interpret this information and have the response back be in English every time. Okay, great. So now I've really planned out my whole use case here, and I'm ready to go. This is my planning. For some apps, it could be as simple as this, and there's not many components to it. We are going to start building a user interface over here. Let's just start with some text, anti-scam AI. This maybe maybe I shouldn't be streaming because I do want to travel in my life, and people are gonna be like, "That's the guy, get him." I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. It's real. I might be cutting into people's scam margins, but that's okay. You know, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear blue light glasses and a black sweater. Yeah, this anti-scam app, if it goes so well, if it goes exactly how I expect, I might have to look over my shoulder when traveling because they're going to be like, "That's the guy, get him." You know? Like he cut into our margins. Fuck. We used to make an extra, we used to make an extra like 80% a year, 100% a year. We used to make double on all these transactions. Now people are so smart with their fucking AI. Now people are all hip with their AI, talking about local prices. You're not a local. I'm gonna charge you double. But no, this needs to happen. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear blue light blockers and a black quarter zip. So that's what's up. Like, come on. I usually, for like fonts and stuff, I'm not much of like a designer in the graphic sense. I'm a designer in like a systems planning sense. But like, let's just go like classic, like Arial or something. I mean, that looks terrible. That doesn't look branded. I feel like we should really get a logo going, and then it'll be much better. Oh, that looks good. Anti-scam AI. I don't know what is with these gradients. These gradients are taking over my mind. These gradients are just taking over my mind. Okay, I'm actually really excited and bullish on this app. If it goes well, I could see a huge target market of people. Really, we just got to focus on the listening device. Pretty simple pipeline, all about the prompt engineering, all about that one tap ability. So, because really, this is about being reliable. If you're traveling, if you're like a digital nomad, and you're kind of going through, if you're traveling, if you're a digital nomad and you're going through the, if you're traveling or if you're a digital nomad and you're going through, if you're traveling, if you're a digital nomad, if you're someone who loves to travel and go to, if you're traveling or if you're like a digital nomad, you like living in different countries and you want to get acclimated really quick, this is going to be a really good tool to have. Okay, so so first thing with the design, we're gonna look over at our requirements here, and we're gonna say set location. That can kind of happen automatically. Set service, hit go. So really, we're gonna do location automatically. So we're just gonna need select service. Gonna use that chevron. And we're gonna say like, we're gonna say car rental. Set service. Just for more of a UI, we're gonna have location. Um, I'm gonna use the transparent here to make that a little bit like that, so you can show it's in progress. And kind of down a bit. You could look up location, map pin, go into elements and go map pin. That's good. Again, I'm gonna go to transparency, just make it a little bit like that. There you go. And go. Start. So great. This is something you're going to want to have with you while you travel. Okay, guys, so let's get building this. Okay, guys, let's get building this. Now we have our first UI. So let's get building this. We have our full description and our user interface. I could add another page for response page and just do the same thing here. I'm gonna add another button here that's like pause playback. So my last app I made was Time Travel AI. That was like a travel historical app that started telling you a historical story. So I really got inspired by like listening to old stuff about like Florence, and I would love to be in the streets of Florence, like in the plaza, and just take a photo and then be like, I would love to be in the streets of Florence, take a photo, and then be like, what would this be like if I was here like 400 or 500 years ago? And then it's like, you'd be doing this. This would be like what a day in your life was. And like, I guess there is like Laura Sporzum. Okay, guys, we're ready to build. We have our full description here. We got our use. Okay, guys, we're ready to build. We got our user interface build here. We also have our full description. This has our component list, very basic components, and then we have our full description and UX, user experience journey. So this explains exactly what the prompt should be set up to do. The user interface is pretty simple and easy to understand, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to be building this with Xcode. I'm also going to be doing some Next.js tutorials in the future, but if you already have a Mac, or if you can pick up a Mac for pretty good prices these days, the old Mac Mini, this is an M1 laptop. You don't need anything crazy to program, remember that. All you need is an app, all you need is a Mac, and then you can get Xcode. All you need is a Mac, and then you can get Xcode. There is actually an Apple developer fee, but I would recommend getting it. Building apps is such a good lever. Once you learn how to build these, people will pay you because they want iOS apps. I can't tell you that, like, however good web development and people using apps within the browser get, people want iOS apps, they want iPhone apps, they want Android apps. It's something productized about it. And if they have a company, it's something they can give their clients, and it's a really impressive thing. I think it always will be. So open up Xcode. What you're gonna do? So open up Xcode. You're gonna go New Project. Once you open up Xcode, you're gonna click App. I'm gonna call it Anti-Scam AI. Set the app bundle AI. Set the app bundle ID, and then everything should be set up. We're going to be using Swift UI, so I can just click Next. We're going to create a new folder here. And then click Create. So, as you can see, what you get when you open up an Xcode project is already something you can run. You don't need to do any setup. You're already going to have this entry file, which is basically your router. So once the app runs, you see this right here. That's where you're... So once you have your entry file here, and this right here is your router, so you can change that to whatever different file, or you could just use the default content view file as your... Or you could use the default content view file. As you can see, it's already running a preview here. And this is our Hello World app. So if you wanted to add any type of like authentication or user, so if you wanted to add any type of authentication or like logins, you would just basically say like if auth is true, then go to content view, and then yeah, and then if you have any other steps, like for some of my apps, I have like an onboarding screen. I say like, is onboarding complete? If onboarding is complete, you can then pass through to login. If login is logged in, then you can pass through to content view. So this app entry file is something you can get started with that can help you. This app entry file is something to understand that just basically routes your app so that you can route to all your files. Swift UI is declarative, and you work in this way of just basically declaring everything you want. So you can build all these different screens and components and just declare like, you know, navigate to this screen once you have all your screens set up. If you have different pages and you want them to navigate together, you basically just declare it, and Model can help you do that. You take your code file, you say, hey, have it when you click this UI button I've created, have it navigate to this new file. Like on a home page, have it navigate from home page to settings when you click the settings button. So that's just a very quick overview. If you want more in-depth like background on Swift, there's probably some great videos on it, but this is vibe coding. Like just get right into it. Just copy and paste this and just say, just copy and paste this, and then we're going to go in here and say, please create the full production level AAA quality code in the quality of a top tech company making this app. Create the UI based on this mockup provided and attached with mockup image. So I say, please create a production level AAA quality code in the quality of top tech company making this app using all the requirements I have mentioned. Create the UI based on this mockup image provided and attached to this message. Please update this code file. Drop in the content view there. I also realize now I've like explained what we're doing, but we're gonna also have to explain how we're gonna do this. How we will build this is a Swift UI application, and we will use AI to process this. We will request location permission. We'll request location permissions upon app entry and automatically set the location. We will use AI using OpenAI and the OpenAI API key. And we will use the following models to complete this feature. For when user clicks start, they will when the user clicks start, they will when the user clicks start, we will start listening and transcribing the audio using Whisper. Accessed through the OpenAI API. When the user clicks stop, we'll send this transcription to the AI model LLM AI model for processing to generate a response based on the transcription and process it following we'll process it following the prompt engineering and get a generated response with translation with an English interpretation and the suggestions about anti-scam protection and suggestions to help avoid being taken advantage of and helping negotiate. Using the model GPT 4o. Let's get the exact model. So guys, once you create a, where did I say whisper? Using you can go to this docs page on your OpenAI platform and look at all these models so you get the actual model name. Sometimes this can be helpful. Sometimes the AI model will understand and know. But should we use 4o? I think we could probably use Mini. GPT Turbo is probably not smart enough for this task. I think 4o Mini should be good. Using the model GPT 4o Mini. And then use the AI model, and then use the OpenAI AI TTS model to generate the TTS audio to read back the response from the text from the LLM. So here you can go get the model I like to use. So you can use the model I like to use for this in there. So you can use the model I like to use, GPT Mini TTS. This is just a good model. I've found good success with this. Here is my OpenAI API key. Hard code it directly into the Okay, great. So we got our full prompt here now. We've worked this out. Just going to turn off my screen to enter that API key in. Time travel AI. We're going to go anti-scam AI. Okay, guys, we're back. So I'm gonna be opening up ChatGPT. Okay, guys, we're back. So we're gonna be using. Okay, so to finish this off, we have our code base open. We've Okay, to finish this off, we have our code base open here in Xcode. We have our full requirements here, and we have our mockups here. So I'm gonna download my mockups. I'm gonna open up ChatGPT. You can use 5. I like O3 still. I like some of the legacy models, but let's give 5 a chance because I think everyone has that. So that should be good, right? So I'm just gonna open up this zip folder of my mockups here. I'm gonna paste in my prompt. It was a big prompt that's from this text edit right here. And then we're gonna take our images and just drop those in there. So we've given it everything it needs to succeed. A good description, a good a good description, a good user experience journey, prompt engineering, as well as some mockups. So it should really one-shot this and create us a good starting point. And let's check in on that in a second as the model's going to be doing its generation here.
16. Give me an old fashioned though. Huh? Yeah, I'm 16. That's for all you motherfuckers who say I look like I'm 50.
It was just 4th of July. What did you do for 4th of July?
I think I just had a normal day.
You didn't like fireworks or anything? It's America's Independence Day.
Yeah, and I'm British.
Oh, I forgot. So what do they have on for the British? It was just 4th of July. I told the team before we came out, I'm back. I know they're back being.
They want to flip.
Right foot on red.
Why is your backpack small?
Why is you so big?
Because
Goddamn. What all do you have in there?
your knowledge.
Oh yeah?
Huh?
Hella.
Woo! Let's go. Okay. Do what I tell you.
Fine.
I'll give you a copy of this, don't worry. You're a star. I'll take all your details. You are doing this. You are doing this. This has got to be a first, isn't it? Yeah. For that. 31. Brooks this time spins off one. They get stopped. No, Williams took it out of his arms magically. What a play. For that. 31. Brooks this time spins off one. They get stopped. No, Williams took it out of his arms magically. What a play. For that. 31. Brooks this time spins off one. They get stopped. No, Williams took it out of his arms magically. What a play. For that.
Alright guys, check this out. Crazy looking bull snake right here. And as you can see, the hissing that he's doing is from a modified epiglottis. When they push air through, it causes a hissing sound.
I got it.
My friend was wondering if he could get your number.
Absolutely not.
She does 1, 2, 3, and then they yank it.
Life.
Sorry for the wait.
Oh, thank you. No problem. I appreciate it. How much are you?
Oh, no worries. The person in front of you paid for you.
Really? Let's keep this train going. How much are you for the people behind me?
78.34. Sir, sorry for the wait.
Oh, thank you. No problem. I appreciate it. How much are you?
Oh, no worries. The person in front of you paid for you.
Really? Let's keep this train going. How much are you for the people behind me?
78.34.
This bamboo.
Telling my family I...
When you find a football with the other team's logo.
Get that out of here. Oklahoma fans after that. I look go with the crowd. What do you see you guys trying to get it? He's not gonna get it. They chuck it up here, and then it's just a little slam dunk. There's an alley-oop. Get out. Hey! Somebody's got.
When you find a...
They went out and spent a big draft pick 3 years ago to bring you in, but Coach Carroll's gone. Gino's gone. DK's gone. Tyler's gone. It's a complete reset for you, but you do have a savvy vet in Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. What does it mean for you personally, having had that reset, but now you are, like, you're catapulted to the front as a guy that this team is going to depend heavy on?
What the fuck are you doing?
You know, it's God's timing, it's perfect timing, man. I think it's awesome to see how my years just kind of looks alike, just being able to learn from these guys. And now I feel most ready more than ever. I'm excited. I feel like I'm in the right place, and it was just that off season and that time to get better and understand what was coming and get prepared for it. So, you know, I felt great about it.
Why?
They They went out and spent the big draft pick 3 years ago to bring you in, but Coach Carroll's gone. Gino's gone. DK's gone. Tyler's gone. It's a complete reset for you, but you do have a savvy vet in Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. What does it mean for you personally, having had that reset, but now you are like you're catapulted to the front as a guy that this team is going to depend heavy on?
For me, it's God's timing. It's perfect timing, man. I think it's awesome to see how my years just kind of looks alike, just being able to learn from.
Should I know you saw you went viral. People calling you racist. You said you can't cut it twice. Like, I can't tell people have asked me, man, what's your dad talking about? You can't cut it twice. Man, he's funny. Can you tell everyone what you actually meant? Because they see the video, they might be confused. He's a racist, whatever they're saying.
Yeah. No,
tell them what it really means. They need that black gold.
I'm playing on word games here. So just I like to have fun. When I say you can't cut it twice, it's just playing with like a little word game with like people say you can't cut cocaine, and it keeps selling it and it gets weaker and weaker as you cut it. So I'm just joking around when I'm saying that. But the point still remains the same. You can't look, most of the people, I'm a strategist. Most of the people, if I'm not mistaken, 56% I think I read are black African Americans in the NFL. And in basketball, I think it's even higher, like up to 70% are black.
And you got to add in, we make up like 15 or 13% of the population.
Yeah, see, so that's learning.
No, I didn't know that. But I'm saying, like, I had to explain to people as well. People ask us as well. So, what you're saying is.
No, I'm not saying a person of white descent or Hispanic can't make it. Of course he can. Yao Ming did it, right? So you do have people, two white folks can make a baby and train that baby and get that baby to be great. That's possible. Asian, Hispanic, all of them. So I'm just saying, it seems to me, you have a greater chance if you have some black blood somewhere run through your veins.
It seems to me.
So I don't want to hear no people, especially from African descent, sitting at home going, I ain't got nothing, government ain't helping me, I can't get a job. You sitting there, you black? Go get you a black man, and if you're a female, and get a big black gorilla-looking guy and have a baby, and start training him. You know what I mean? I mean, you got half the battle already won. It makes sense, Look, I used to see back in the day. Hold on, Kathy. I used to see when you guys were playing youth football, a lot of athletes half black, half white. And I always looked for the mom and dad. Always massive, But now, I'm telling you, white girls, y'all better be careful because the new white girls are Mexican girls. The Mexican girls took all the brothers now. Because now I go to them little shows, I see a lot of Hispanic, half black. Dark skin, but Gonzalez. No, wait, what? That's all I'm saying. I feel you. I see you. I ain't mad at you. It's good.
I know you.
No way. That was Amon St. Brown's dad, by the way. I do not endorse anything the man said. Just like people that are funny. Okay, guys, so let's get to it. I'm going to be using this prompt, and I'm going to be... I have my OpenAI key as OpenAI key in my info.p list with the actual key value there. I have the full updated code. I have the example code to be updating. I'm going to be using O3 because ChatGPT 5, come back to me in a few months. I don't like... The worst thing they could have possibly done was depreciate models. That's what caused outrage. I've been using 4.0 Mini High for so long, and then they just removed it. It's been a year of my life using 4.0 Mini High. If I'm in production working on stuff, I can't deal with things not working the way I expect them to work. So usually how it worked with all these models is I would be using 4.0. Then I would start using I guess 0.1 at the time. or 01 Mini, whatever was out at the time, and I would try it out, and I'd be like, oh, okay, but it's answering and kind of working, and the responses and the formatting and everything, even using Canvas and these different like UI things they added. I'm just not expecting it to work that way. So I tried out, but once in production, I need to get a bit more comfortable with that tool first. And then as 4.0 starts to say, hit a bottleneck where I wish it could work better, I say, okay, let me try 01 for this. And then if 01 really succeeds in this area where 4.0 was not, I could start to lean more into that. And then I think when 04 Mini High came out, that was when it would do everything 4.0 needed me to do, but also have the like longer responses, ability to output more, and it was just the best of both worlds. So I could fully switch over and use that for mostly everything now. The fact that just 04 Mini is there, that's okay, but 04 Mini High is gone. Oh, I'm mad about that. But 03 is here. Let's see if we can do the work here. Creating the full code, popping in the... So I have my full code here, I have my full description, so I have my full prompt here, my whole app description, I have my user interface uploaded, and I'm going to start this with 03 now.
Run into your ex. When you run into your ex, that sucks. Don't cry, bro. It gets better. Oh, man. It's alright, bro. When you run into your ex, people with eczema or chronic.
You know what? Teachers should be able to defend themselves. 100%. If they get attacked, the kids are out of hands these days. You know this teacher wants to keep his job, and he's doing a great job. Once again, oh no. Deserved. He's doing a great job. Once again, oh no. Deserved.
Yeah, pull up a hopper with and no come out. Okay, great. So I'm gonna open up my Xcode file now that I got my response from the model. I'm gonna copy and paste this into my content view. There maybe is some bugs. I usually expect some bugs to happen. So let's just let it index process this file, index reprocessing, as well as it's going to be updating here. And let's see what happens. Yeah, a few bugs as expected. So we're just going to take these. Speech player. It's actually cold, man. I'm not fucking with you, Canada. I'm about to be out of here.
It's like, you know,
But how much does it actually cost to produce oil in Canada? It costs us a great deal because we have to get it out of the Arctic. We have so many natural barriers.
how long does it take in that Area 50 to become a trade? 28 days. Day 3, you'll know the market base.
Why you're able to pop in the boat because you are very attractive. But this sounds very weird. And don't judge, because you're giving it already. I like my man a little, like a splash of ugly. I think you like really pretty boy, but it's just not my type. That's it. That's a compliment. Do you have any kids?
Yes, the other liquid.
That was really funny. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is Cedric someone that's your type? Yeah. What makes him not your type?
The way you look.
I'm not trying to be funny. He's just not my type. When you say the way he looks, like the outfit. And now is he someone that's your type? No. Okay, why not?
He looks a little.
Sorry. Okay, East lips. Okay, what about the lips? I don't know, I just live outside East now. Not the best. Why
You know, who are some of your favorite receivers coming up? If you can give me like just a handful, maybe 4.
Me just watching with my eyes, I would say Des Bryant.
Yeah.
T.O. Watched him a lot. And some guys that, you know, really are still in the league. Like, you know, I used to being from Texas, watching, you know, see guys like CeeDee Lamb at OU. There's a lot. I feel like I watched a lot of college ball, honestly, growing up.
And as a young dog, or like who?
Did you know there's another form of debt consolidation?
The Commanders and Terry McLaurin came to an agreement on a 3-year contract extension with up to $96 million, and there is nothing more infuriating than the way contract details get released. Because guys like Schefter always make sure to release the maximum while mentioning the names of their agents who no one cares about, and then we find out the important information like guaranteed money days later once everyone latches onto $96 million. The Commanders and Terry McLaurin came to an agreement on a 3-year contract extension with up to $96 million, and there is nothing more infuriating than the way contract details get released. Because guys like Schefter always make sure to release the maximum while mentioning the names of their agents who no one cares about, and then we find out the important information like guaranteed money days later once everyone latches onto $96 million. The Commanders and
Pull on it.
Good boy.
Wow! Yeah. Hey, Cole. Take off this dress. You sure you want me to do that? Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Ooh, you're sexy.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Ooh, you're sexy.
Thank you, girl. You too.
My dead uncle on the day of the tragedy in New York. 11. He did say hi. He did say hi. That's good. Can I tell your dad, Joe?
Absolutely.
Bro, is your hair real? Yeah. Pull on it.
Wanna get?
You said what?
I. All right, bro. Bro, I'm hating on this weather right now.